everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all really well. If you are new here, then welcome, and if you are a returning viewer or subscriber, then welcome back. Literally feels like I haven't filmed for like, God, must be about 6 weeks now, maybe less, maybe a month, because if you follow me on my Instagram, you'll see that I had a bit of an issue with my laptop charger because it just died on me, and I've had to get a new one. So yeah, I have now got a new one, so I am able to now edit videos again, which is so exciting. Before we get into this video, can I just ask that if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing to my channel. It's really easy to do. Just underneath this video you'll see a subscribe button. If you just click on that, and if you want to be notified of any of my future uploads, just click the bell as well. Literally takes a few moments and is completely free, so thank you so much. But yeah, so welcome to today's video. If you're seeing this video, then I will have announced that we are expecting baby number 2, which is just mad because I've been having to keep it a secret for, well, it feels like the longest time, but then it feels like it's gone quite quick. Not really sure. Like, I've nearly slipped up a couple of times when I've talked about the room I'm in now where I film, which is our spare room, which is now obviously going to become Tommy's bedroom. I think I said I brought a couple of things for when he moves in here, and I now realised, I was like, well, he's not moving just yet. There was a few things I've slipped up on, so if you've noticed, let me know in the comments. But as always, thank God you can see this side and not this side, because all of my washing and Tommy's washing is like here, and just everything is over here. So yeah, we will probably be starting bedroom swapping phase probably after Christmas in the new year, I'm gonna say, because we can find out the gender in December. So yes, I think we will be sorting this room out and getting it ready for Tommy to move into at some point in the new year. But anyways, that's not what this video is about. But before I do get into today's video, which is sort of a recap of my first trimester, obviously I'm going to try and bring you as much content as I can on this journey. I'm not really sure how it's going to look yet, but yeah, you will have seen, or should have already seen, the like finding out I'm pregnant video. That should already be on my channel. And then I'm filming this one, which is my first trimester, and then I'll be filming another one literally straight after this, so keep an eye on my channel for that. But basically I have my notebook here, if you're wondering what I keep looking down at. So I have just done a recap of my first trimester, because let me tell you, my first trimester this time has been very different to what it was with Tommy. Tommy's was fine. I think I started to feel unwell maybe around the 8 or 9 week mark, I want to say. Yeah, it was just, but I think it was fine. I think I got more food aversions with Tommy rather than like feeling really ill. This time I have felt sick most of the time. Never been sick, felt sick most of the time. So yeah, getting to come and film has been the last thing on my mind. And I've just been so tired, so I thought I wrote some notes for each week, and then I would just sit here and recap them with you, if that's okay. So I do apologise, it's not like a week by week like diary input for you, but I had to look after myself first, so I hope you understand. But also I apologise for the lighting, because trying to get to film the video with a toddler now at the moment as well is proving a bit difficult. So yes, it is nighttime and obviously it gets dark quicker now, so apologies for that, but yes, it is nighttime, so I am filming this now. But anyways, I've waffled on for 5 minutes in this intro, so let's get into it. So week 3 and 4 technically, well, I wouldn't have known at week 3. By week 4 I think I knew and had taken the test, but before I took the test I had a feeling. I felt quite sick before I'd even taken a test, which wasn't like me. I don't usually feel sick or anything, and I had like, I don't know how to describe it, but I mean, from this channel you will get quite an honest, raw look into motherhood. So anyone's had a baby that's watching this, you just get a heavy feeling down there. I had that. I just had a very heavy feeling and I just felt sick like every day. So we took the test, which you would have seen in my finding out I'm pregnant video, and it was positive, so we were very, very happy. So yeah, it confirmed what we thought anyway. So then weeks 5 to 7, the nausea was like, oh, like literally I was struggling to like look after Tommy because I felt so ill. Like literally I felt like if I moved my little finger I was going to be sick. It was the weirdest feeling, but never actually sick. I had very, very, very sore boobs, like very, very sore boobs. I still have very, very sore boobs. And then my skin, like my actual skin, I noticed it was starting to change. It wasn't, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've suffered with, you know, spots and adult acne quite badly in the past. And when I got pregnant with Tommy, like it all just went away. Like, well, I say went away, it was so much better. Like I had that like glow, and it didn't clear up like my scars or anything, but it definitely took away like the angry new spots. This time I noticed that I was getting more angry new spots. So yeah, I noticed it started to change, but I will get onto it over the next few weeks. And as I said, I am going to be sharing and being very honest with you on here. For the first couple of weeks, those like week 5 to 7, I had the worst bowels. Like, oh my god, it was horrendous. Like it just wouldn't stop, to the point where I even called like the early pregnancy unit and was like, is this normal? Because like it's not stopping and I'm worried that like it's going to do something to the baby. And she did advise changing the folic acid that I was on, so I did, and once I did that it did get better. And then eventually it did stop by the end of like the week 7, so that was quite good. But yeah, like it was just horrendous. Like I don't know, honestly it was just horrific. Like I never had that with Tommy. Like I was literally constipated the whole time with Tommy. It was not the best. But yeah, this time, wow, it just didn't stop. That was all for week 5 to 7. So yeah, let's go on to week 8. So week 8, I noted that my nausea was better. My bowels had significantly improved apparently, which is what I wrote here. Boobs, obviously, still very, very, very sore. And my skin by week 8 had got incredibly like worse. I mean, as you can see, you can probably see here under my makeup, but we move, it's fine. But yes, they were the symptoms. Now also on week 8, I think I was, oh, how many days was I? I think I was 8 plus 3. We had a private scan at window to the womb. I think they call it like the first scan. And it comes with like a little report. I won't show you all of mine, but it comes with a little report. And I think they called it like a reassurance scan. That's what I went for. It is a little bit expensive for like literally the 5 minutes you're in there. But yeah, I mean it's £80. So yeah, it is a lot. I will link their website down below and you can find your most local one. Mine is Milton Keynes, so we went there. Because by week 8 I wanted to see that there was something in there. I mean, I felt like shit, so you'd like to think that there was a baby in there. And because I'd felt so horrific, I wanted to check there was only one. So yeah, I was like to Adam, I was like, we're definitely having twins because I feel horrific. But there was only one, which was fabulous for me. But yeah, I've got the picture here. You can see there's the head, and then like the feet are up there. See that? Sorry, you can see my ring light in it. There you go. So that was the picture we got. I mean, it made my anxiety better for the like 5-10 minutes we were there, and then got back in the car and my anxiety was back up again, which was fab. And then that was it for week 8. So let's go to week 9. I had my first midwife appointment on week 9, which was face to face. Like, oh my god, because obviously I had Tommy whilst COVID was happening. I do not call him a COVID baby. Please do not call him a COVID baby, because I was pregnant before COVID, okay? So it's still a real thing of mine. He was not a COVID baby. Yeah, I had my first midwife appointment, which was face to face. It was at my local doctor's surgery. So I went to have my first chat with her. It wasn't like the booking appointment with the book. It was literally, I think I had to do like a urine sample. I think she just took some like details like name, address, date of birth. Is this your first or your second child? And then she obviously, I said it's my second, and then she said, oh, I'll just grab your notes then. And as she opened my notes with Tommy, she was just like, ooh, oh, okay. Because she'd obviously seen everything that had happened. So yeah, I think, and then she said, that's not for that appointment, we would talk about it more in my booking appointment, which I will get to because I did have that, and I can tell you everything we spoke about. I did explain to her that my anxiety like around pregnancy was getting a lot worse, and she advised that that was probably because of what I'd been through, and that my eyes were probably more open to everything that can go wrong rather than just like the one thing. She said you're probably more like open and susceptible to like everything that can go wrong. So yeah, that's something I'm still obviously working on. And again, I will discuss when we get to week 10 and I talk about my booking appointment. I have put some plans in motion for that. And I just noted that my symptoms were pretty much the same as week 8. So skin was still rubbish, boobs were still really sore, and I didn't feel as sick. So yeah, so we'll move on to week 10 and my booking appointment. So week 10, my sickness was back, but it had changed a little bit. I say sickness, I wasn't sick, I just had feeling sick. But it had changed a little bit. So what it was is it was coming after I would eat. So I would be hungry, want some food, but literally as I was eating, I'd start to feel sick. So that's still happening now at 12 weeks. So what I have to do is I have to like eat really quickly, like not enough to give me, like quick enough to give me indigestion. But yeah, I just have to eat like super quick and like not really think about it. And then I just feel like sick right at the end. It's really weird, but it's how I can survive. Otherwise I'm trying to eat, I feel sick, so I stop eating, but then I'm still hungry, and then I've got to go back and do it all again, and it's this cycle that I can't really get on board with. So I try and just eat as quickly as I can, and then it's just one time of feeling sick after I eat. So it's working at the moment. In week 10 I started to feel like more twinges down there, like could definitely feel that there was, well, I'm assuming like movement, not movement as in the baby moving, like my insides moving. So I definitely felt a lot more twinges, which never helps my anxiety, because I'm like, oh my god, that's it, something's going wrong. My skin is still terrible in week 10, but you know, we move, it's really not the biggest deal. I had my flu jab on week 10 at my local doctor's surgery because they recommended that you have it. I did have a bit of a kerfuffle. They said I was entitled, so I booked it, and then they rang and said I wasn't entitled, so I wouldn't be able to have it. So I wrote back and said, because the woman on the phone was like, well, I don't know why you're not eligible, it's just say I've got to call you and tell you you're not eligible. And I was like, well, that's not helpful. So I emailed my doctor's surgery and said, look, if I'm not eligible, I'm not eligible, but being pregnant you are. But can you just tell me why? Like, I want to know why. And then the next day I get a phone call back saying, no, it was a mistake, I am eligible. So they booked it back in for me. So I did have that. I had no after effects. I felt absolutely fine. So that was really good. I had to go for a blood test, which is where they check all of my blood. So check that, I think it's like HIV, loads of stuff. They check for loads. I think it's like 7 or 8 different things they check for, and they check for your blood group as well. Not that it would have changed since last time, but anyways. So yeah, I've got to go and do another one of those, the one that tells them my blood group, because that got messed up when I went and had it on week 10. So when I go for my 12-week scan, because I haven't actually been for it yet, I am 12 weeks and a day today, but my scan is on Monday and it's Friday now. So yeah, I've got to have that redone because I'm gonna have the like Down syndrome, what's it called? I think I wrote them down. Oh yeah, the Down syndrome, Edwards syndrome and Pato syndrome. I'm gonna have that test, so whilst they're doing that, I will just have the one that does your blood group again, so that's absolutely fine. And then I had my booking appointment on week 10, and I wrote down some notes from that for the overview. So obviously I will be sharing on here because I will be consultant led, because of what happened with Tommy. Not that we actually ever know what happened, he just came at 31+1. So yes, I will be consultant led. I did write down from 12 weeks. Now I'm waiting to hear back from my midwife about that, because she told me it was from 12 weeks. When I chased for the consultant appointment at the hospital, they said, well, your midwife's told us from 16 weeks. So I've had to go back to my midwife and say, this is what they said, is that correct? And I'm waiting for her to come back to me. So I will be consultant led from 12 or 16 weeks, who knows. I've been referred to my hospital's birth trauma team, because obviously I did suffer with birth trauma with Tommy. I will probably do a separate video where I will discuss my like sort of therapy journey, my diagnosis with my PTSD around his birth and like neonatal journey, and that I got my hospital notes because they were a lot to unpack. That's a whole separate video. So I have been referred to the birth trauma team and also the mental health midwife in regards to that as well. So I would say, you know, like I said from my chat, like from what you're going to get from here, if you're like worried about what people are going to think of you, please don't. If the help is there, then take it. Like, I'm not ashamed that I'm going to have to use a mental health system. Like, my birth and post-birth journey and even just before I had him, like looking back on it, it was horrific. My birth wasn't horrific, you know, he came out quite quickly, but the failures that I went through and, you know, the lack maybe of empathy and care I had after was horrific. And again, we'll discuss that in another video. This is the hospital that I'm going to have this child in because it's the closest, and Tommy came in 14 minutes, so I really don't have a choice. If I had a choice, I'd love to go to Cambridge, but it's an hour away, so I just don't have that option. So please, if you're in maybe a similar position and you've been offered it but you're maybe worried about what people will think, please don't take the help and, you know, use it to your advantage. I haven't had contact from them yet. It should be coming in the next few days, I'm assuming, because I had the referral done at my booking appointment, so she said it will be in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, hopefully it should be coming. She advised me that my urine will be checked each time in case of infections, because there was, rumours that I had an infection when I had Tommy, but now having had my notes, there was no abnormalities or infections detected, so who bloody knows. Yeah, like I said, different video. There's a possibility my cervix might be measured, but again, that will come out of the consultant's appointment. I had to take extra folic acid until I was 12 weeks, so I can stop that now actually. That reminds me. I will have my 12-week scan next week. I'll probably do a separate video of that, like, obviously you can't come into the scan, but I will probably do like a discussion around it and then like, show you the scan and stuff. Hopefully everything's okay, fingers crossed. See, the anxiety about it, I'm convinced I'm going in there, something's going wrong. So at that, I will be having the blood tests for Down syndrome, Edwards syndrome and Pato syndrome. And then I'll have my 20-week scan as normal. My bloods will be rechecked at 28 weeks. I will have to book my whoop and cough jab. And then I have another face-to-face appointment at 16 weeks. She said obviously I'll possibly get extra scans, but what that would look like we don't know. That should come out of my consultant's appointment. Maybe I'll do a separate video about like being consultant led and like explain how that's been working. Maybe I will do like a diary input of that. Like every time I have one, I'll just come and quickly chat to you and let you know what happened. This time I can obviously go to antenatal classes because we're not during COVID. So I need to speak to Adam and discuss whether we're going to do that. The one thing that puts me off, and you see it, I follow a lot of obviously premature support like group things on Instagram. If you don't follow Miracle Moon, definitely follow them. But obviously in antenatal classes, they don't tell you about prematurity. So I kind of want to go to be like, would you want to discuss it? Because it is a thing. So I'm not sure whether we're going to go, but I'll chat to Adam about that. And then if I get to 37 weeks and obviously I have no other health issues, I would be reduced back to low risk, which would be amazing, absolutely amazing. Fingers crossed for that. So yeah, because I really do want a water birth, but let's not get our hopes up. Let's see what happens. So that's my booking appointment overview, and then on week 11 my symptoms had kind of plateaued. I still have sore boobs. I feel like I'm getting more tired now, but I do have a toddler. Anxiety is getting better, but it's still there. I feel like the last week or so is when I've kind of let myself believe I'm pregnant and get into it, if that makes sense. And instead of feeling, well, I still feel sick when I eat, but I'm so hungry all the time. Literally, I do not stop eating. So yeah, that was week 11. So like I said, I'm now today 12 plus 1. Yeah, 12 plus 1 today. So what I will probably do is film my 12-week. I'll film the scan because like I said, you're not allowed to do that. But I'll film a separate video about the 12-week scan and week 12, and then obviously at week 13 you go into the second trimester, I believe, isn't it? I'm gonna Google it. What weeks are the second trimester? Oh no, 13 weeks. Ah, so second trimester is 14 to 26. So yeah, I would probably end the first trimester bit here, do the separate video for my 12-week scan and have a chat with you about that. Maybe I'll just add the 13th week on at the end. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed going through the first trimester with me, even though it's only been in this one video. But yes, I hope you've enjoyed it. Hopefully I will be bringing you a lot more content. Like I said, I'm not sure what that's going to look like yet, but I'm going to bring you as much content as I possibly humanly can. But if you did like this video, please give it a like, and please do consider subscribing. That would mean so much to me. Oh, that's my phone going off. But yes, thank you so much, and I will hopefully see you in one of my next videos. Bye guys.